So thick is the canopy here in these Gondwana rainforests that by the time the sunlight reaches way down here on the forest floor, it's been gloriously filtered. All around us, the sounds of wildlife, paddy melons, brush turkey, and high in the branches here, satin bowerbirds. Life in all forms abounds under the rainforest canopy. From lizards and venomous red-bellied black snakes to these small wallabies, the shy red-necked paddy melon. Our guide in these rainforests is Tim O'Reilly. These paddy melons are very skittish. They're likely to go at any time, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a little bit nervous being out in the open. They spend their days in the forest generally, so when they're outside the edge, they're always very wary.
And it's at this time, right on dusk, that they will come out onto these grassy plains around your enterprise here.
Yeah, you certainly do get an increase in paddy melon numbers when you get grassy clearings in rainforest.
So we'll find these paddy melons right through the Lamington National Park and in fact right through all of the rainforests of the Gondwana rainforest region.
Yeah, they're down the east coast. There's two species. These are all red-necked paddy melons, and you can see that rusty colour on the neck and the shoulders. And there is another species in the forest here which doesn't come out to the edge like this, and that's the red-legged paddy melon. That's about as large as paddy melons get, so you can imagine how tiny the joeys are, particularly when they first emerge. You can see joeys any time during the year though. I think there tends to be a peak of breeding in the spring and the autumn. There's no big joeys I've seen around at the moment, but you'll certainly see a bit of a bulge on the underside of some of these females here.
The Gondwana rainforests are also home to an exotic range of birds. Birds of all colours, shapes and sizes. From the hardy brush turkeys to tawny frogmouths, owl-like birds whose colouring camouflages them in low tree branches during the day. First light every morning, the bowerbirds fly in to be fed by Tim O'Reilly.
Breakfast time.
Both satin and regent bowerbirds gather for the daily feed. And at this time of the year, they're losing feathers. This is the satin bowerbird, blue and larger than his regent cousins. Even when both species are molting, they're impressive birds. Once the old feathers have fallen off, the male satin bowerbird is iridescent blue. And even more impressive are the bowers he constructs. In this case, this bowerbird has built 3 bowers side by side, decorated with a collection of blue trinkets he's collected. Tim, these satin bowerbirds certainly turn out a very, very impressive display with that bower and then all this blue.
Well, I hope they're impressive, Greg, because this bower's sole purpose really is to entice females in, and his skill in constructing a bower and his collection of blue decorations often means the difference between getting or not getting the lady.
Now, of course, the blue things he's collected are modern day items. We're seeing bottle tops here and pegs and golf tees and so forth. What did they do in days of old?
Well, they used whatever they could find in the forest, but there isn't much natural blue. I've seen plenty of bowers out in the forest with no blue in them at all, but any blue feathers, any blue fruits or flowers, they certainly would have taken on, but yeah, it would have been much harder in the pre-plastic days for sure.
One man who's made a career filming the birds of Gondwana is Glenn Trelfo.
Well, the birds up here are so unique, like Albert's lyrebird, the beautiful regent bowerbird with his golden yellow and that contrasting velvet black. So stunning. And of course, when people come here to see these birds, they experience them right in front of them. It's like they're coming out of the Garden of Eden to greet people when they arrive.
Glenn is the only person to ever film this bird. It's the Albert's lyrebird, so reclusive that few people have seen it, let alone film it. He spent several years of his life trying to get these shots.
Well, I'm setting up hides, chicken wire with some army camouflage cloth, and I put a little tin in there to sit on, and I might sit there for 2 or 3 days. I spent 4 years trying to get this. It's such a rare thing. This is why this bird has never been filmed. And as I said before, they've never been in captivity, ever. Well, the lyrebird dances on vines, collapsed vines, and this is one of the most amazing bird displays in the world. He locks his feet on the vines, he taps one lot like Aboriginal clapsticks, thumps the other one like a drum, and he rocks and he does a dance like an Aboriginal corroboree dance, all to the rhythm of his voice and his voice box. And so this bird looks like something that's possessed. It doesn't know what it's doing, it seems, but it's his courtship display. And he may do that for 2 months of the year and not see one female. But he doesn't give up, he just keeps at it, hour after hour, day after day, during the winter time. A good wildlife filmmaker has a high anticipation rate of what's going to happen next. He knows when to start the camera, when not to stop the camera, because something exciting might happen, and that might be that special moment that, you know, he can share on the screen with the audience. Some people say you're very patient, but I don't think I'm any more patient than anyone else, but it's that passion that drives you on to stick it out until you succeed. And of course, then you've got something that you can share with people on a screen forever.
When next we travel Oz, Uluru, the magnificent red rock around which so many interesting people live. The Adelaide festivals, the Toot Tim seek out world-class entertainers. And Queensland's Sunshine Coast, surfing dogs, coastal koalas, out-of-control kayaks. And that is this episode of Travel Oz. I'm Grainger. Happy travels.